Hello all, welcome to Codeboot YouTube channel. Myself Rahul Krishna. Today we are going to learn how we can create a Docker file, and based on that how we can create a Docker image and how we can push that to the container registry in GitLab. So in the first video of GitLab I showed you there is a repository called container registry in GitLab, and I briefly described about the use of container registry in GitLab. Right. So today we are going to see how it can be used to keep our images. Okay. So in the last video, we have added one more stage, and we have added the unit test to the pipeline that we were using. Today we are going to use the same project, and we are going to add the image creation or the build image as well to the same pipeline. Okay. So this was our project, GitLab demo project, and this was the file that we have created. So there were two stages, one is build and one is test, and we have created two jobs like Maven build and unit test, and we have assigned the respective stages as well. And I showed you like how we can use your self-hosted runners for the execution, and if you want to use a shared runner, you don't want to provide the tags as well, right? So all these things we covered in the previous session. So let's go to today's one. And one more thing, like it's not mandatory like you have to keep all the jobs within this same file. Okay, so it's based on your housekeeping or your method. You can move these jobs to different files, and you can just include those files here, and you can run the pipeline. Okay, I will show you all those things in the coming videos. So as this is just the initial stage, I'm just adding up all the stages here itself. Okay, just for reading purpose and for convenience, and maybe in the coming videos I will try to move these files to a different template, and I will show you like how we can do the standard method, like how you can keep different projects in different files and how you can call inside a GitLab CI again, right? So let me go to my IDE. Okay, so this is a project that we have used last week, right? And here we have build and test stage, and what we are going to do is let me okay, I'm just creating one more stage called a build image. It's not mandatory like you should use a different stage. You can either use the build itself, build stage itself for running your job. But for our easy convenience and for looking the pipeline good, I'm just creating one more stage called the build hyphen image. Okay, so going forward, like if you're going to add more number of jobs, I'll be moving all these things to a single stage. Okay, so let us start. So before starting the pipeline, right, what we have to do, there should be a Docker file for the project, right? So currently in the project folder, we don't have a Docker file, and the project is a basic Java project in which we have very basic dependency that was added. So I will show you like how you can write or create a Docker file, and how you can create the Docker images from that, right? So let me click here. I'm going to create a Docker file. Okay. Oh, sorry. I believe I created a yes. Okay. I'm just going to create a file. Okay. I believe I created a folder, Docker file. Okay. So once you type Docker file itself, here you are able to see the icon of the Docker. Right? So that's it. And here we have to write the Docker file. Right? So like what all details we have to add in the Docker file. So a Docker file is a base for creating a Docker image. Here you have to write all the steps for creating the Docker image. So the first step in writing a Docker file is we have to declare the base image for the Docker image, right? So I'm going to use Amazon Corretto. Okay, so this is totally based on like what kind of project you are going to use. Okay, so if it is a Python based project or some different programming language, you can use your base image based on your requirement. Okay, Here itself it's showing. Okay, let me choose the 70 alpha. 3.18 is available. Yes, 3.18 is available. I'm going with that. Okay, and what's the next step? I'm just going to add a label here. Okay, so in label you can describe many details like the author or whatever. If you want to keep as a label, you can keep it with the label parameter. Okay, so maybe I'm just adding my name here. Okay, and what else we can add? Or maybe I'm just adding the service as well. Okay, so just keep in mind, like whatever the values that we are providing, right? All these should be in capital letter. Okay, equal to this can be a demo app. Okay, I'm just keeping it like a demo app. Okay, and usually if you're writing a Docker file, you have to set the Java home as well. So I'm not going to set the Java home. Let's see whether it's working or not. If it's not working, then we'll set the Java file, Java home path as well. Okay. So what is the next step? Like we have to set the work directory. So work directory, what should be the work directory? So this is the base path I'm going to give. And usually if it is a microservice, we have to expose some port as well. So I'm just keeping some port now. Okay, maybe in future we'll change the port details. Okay, so I'm just keeping it like 8080. Okay, and what is the next thing? Like we have a jar file that is created in build stage, right? So that jar only we are going to use. So what I'm going to do, okay, then where it will be in target folder, right? Target slash what was the file name that we have given? It was my app, I believe. Let me check again. Yeah, it was my app. Okay, so my app, and we were adding snapshot as well, right? So it can be like a hyphen star dot jar. Okay, where I want to copy it, I want to copy it like a my hyphen app dot jar. Okay, I'm just keeping it like this. I don't want the snapshot details and all. Okay, then so here what will happen, like it will check for this particular jar and it will rename and keep it in the work directory. Okay, so it will help to add the jar file from the build context into the container. Okay, so that's the main purpose of adding this add a target jar. So what's the next thing? Like we have to set the command to execute your application, right? So that is like entry point. So how we can set the entry point? So entry point, this is a Java application, right? So Java, then the file is like a jar file, right? And where I can find this jar file? In my work directory, my app dot jar, right? So that's it. So this is the basic structure of this Docker file which we are going to use. So let me save it. We see whether it is working or not, because the project is a Java based project and the artifact is Java, and we have provided the jar path as well. Okay. Let me go here. I'm going to write the job. Maybe I'm going to keep it like a push or build push mesh. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to use the same image. Okay, so let me copy paste this. Okay, and test the stage we have to modify. So I'm just removing the tag here. Okay. We are going to use the shared runner, and this should be our stage build hyphen image. Okay, so that part is also done. So what is the next thing? Like we have to write the Docker command. So, but before that, there is one more requirement. Like we have to get the artifacts from this build stage, right? So I'm just going to add needs here, because this particular job should wait for Maven build, right? Then all the artifact will get generated. So I'm just adding that as well. What is a job name? It's Maven hyphen build. Okay, then we have to declare the services. Okay, so services, it should be name is Docker din. Okay, so the thing is, like, if you're not providing this, right, it will not make a connection to the Docker daemon that is executing in the runner instance. Okay, so that's why we are providing this service details. Maybe I will comment this and I will show you as well during our execution. Okay, so what is the next thing? Like, we have to write script, right? So before writing the script, let me show you how you can make a connection to our GitLab container registry, right? So let me go to container registry. Let me duplicate this. Okay, so where we can find container registry, you have to go to deploy, and here you can see container registry. Okay, so here you will be able to see the images that you are going to push, right? So the first thing is, like, you have to make a connection to container registry. For that we need the authentication, right? So how we can make an authentication? For that we need the credential. So what I'm going to do is, let me duplicate this. Okay, I'm going to CICD variables. Okay, here in variable, here in variable, the first thing is, like, we have to use the registry URL. Okay, so I'm just going to create one variable, and it should not be protected. So if we protect it, then only the protected branches will be able to see it. So my branch is not a protected one, so I'm not going to protect it. Okay, then okay, the key I'm going to keep it like a CI underscore registry. Okay, so that's it. And value, what should be the value? So here you can get this. Okay, from here we can copy. Okay, and here it should be registry. Okay, it's registry.gitlab.com/autoport/gitlab demo project. Okay, so that's it. Add variable, and we have to generate the username and password. So how we can generate the username and password? For that, let me duplicate this again. Okay, and let me go to references. Okay, and I'm going to create a token here. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to create access token, and using this access token we can make a connection. Okay, so I'm just keeping it like CICD expiration. I'm going to remove, and here if you check, you'll be able to see a write repository, read repository, and all. Here we have, and we have write registry and read registry is also available. So I'm going to enable all this scope. Okay, based on your requirement you can modify this. Okay, but I'm going to choose everything, and it will generate a token here. So this token I'm going to add first. Okay, so here we already have opened this. So what should be the value? I'm just pasting here, and key I'm keeping it like a CI underscore, and this is registry, right? Registry underscore, maybe password. Okay, CI registry underscore password. Then add variable. Next, what is the value? We have to use a registry user, CI registry user. So it is like a CI registry underscore user. Okay, so this value is a CICD, right? So this is a value that we have provided CICD. So let me save it. Okay, so this part is completed. So let's move back to our coding. Okay, so we have created all the variables and all. Okay, so that part is completed. So now what we are going to do is we have to write the script. So what is the first thing? Like, we have to first log into this GitLab container registry. Okay, then only we can push the images. So for that, I'm going to use a Docker command, Docker login, then we have to pass the username. Okay, so from where we can get the username? It's already declared. So what is it? CI underscore registry underscore user, and the password we have to pass, that is -p, and I'm just copying the same thing. Okay, put it here and replace it with the password, and we have to pass the registry URL, right? So what was that? $CI underscore registry. Okay, so that's it. So this will make a login to the container registry. Then what is the next thing? Like we have to first build the Docker image. We have a Docker file and we have the artifact.jar file available. So next thing is like we have to build the Docker image. So what is the command we can use? We have to use Docker build. Then we have to add the tag -t, right? And I'm going to use this URL, okay, because I need to push this to this particular CI URL, right? CI registry. So I'm just going to keep this, and the app name I'm going to keep it like a demo app, and I'm just going to append the CI pipeline ID. Okay, so CI pipeline ID is nothing but like this is a unique value that will get generated for this particular project. Okay, so if you're going to use ID means it will be a generic one, like whenever I will show you that pipeline underscore IID. Okay, so there is one more common variable available, that is underscore ID. So that is the generic for a group. Okay, so just consider if you have multiple projects in your group, and for each project it will be generating a ID. Okay, so it will keep on changing based on which project is going to execute. But if you're going to use IID means it's specific for this particular project and not a group level. So if you are executing one time, so just consider if it is 1, and for next time it will be 2. Okay, in that sequential way it will get generated. So I'm just going to keep IID here. Okay, then that is done, and where I need to keep it in the same folder I'm going to keep it. Then what is the next thing? I need to push this image, right? So I'm going to use docker push command. Okay, so what I'm going to push, this is the image that we are going to create, that I'm providing here. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so that's it. We'll see where it is going to work or not. Because I already tested this, but we'll see if it will work or not. Okay, I'm going to save it. Docker underscore build space add. Okay, so this is because of the GPG authentication that we did last week, right? In the last video. Okay. Changes. So now it should start the execution. So even you can use Docker in your system, and you can make an execution. Okay, so there is no issues with that. Open this. Okay, so here you can see it is doing the build, then it will do the unit test, because these are two independent jobs. You don't need to keep different stages here. If you want to keep it running in a parallel way, you can just add it over here. Okay, and this build push image is having a dependency on maven build, so either we can keep two stages, or even this build image also you can keep it in the same stage. Okay, so if you go to a dependency, you'll be able to see how the dependency is happening, like maven build, then it is doing the unit test, and uh, build a job build image. Okay. Yeah, so the dependency is like that. The maven build is dependent to build push image is dependent to maven build, and this is a job which is not dependent on both these jobs. Okay, so that's why it is executing parallelly after the first stage is completed. Okay, so let it complete. Okay, so for an build push image, the only dependency is like the maven build should complete. Okay, as it is already completed, This particular job is executing now. Okay, we'll see whether it is complete or not. Maven, sorry, unit test also completed. Maven builders are also completed. Let me go to this job. Okay, it got failed. We'll see what is the error. Docker command not found. Okay, what is the reason for this? CI registry. Okay, Docker login. Okay, Docker login. Let me check what is the error here. Docker login. This is correct only. This is a Docker DENT services. This is fine. Then stay is a push image, right? Oh, sorry, okay, build image. I treat it like build image. Okay, and I believe like the problem here is maybe if you are going with this particular image, Docker may not be available here. So let me do one thing. I'm just going to keep the Docker stable version. So we see whether it will work or not. Updated the image name. Okay, we commit and we'll see. So we should start now. Okay, so the pipeline has started. So meanwhile, let me check this error again. Okay, so here it is showing Docker login. Docker command not found. It means the Docker is not available if you're going with this particular image. Because what happened is like previously I was using Amazon query to this particular image, right? In that Docker cannot available. So what I did is I modified this to a Docker table. Okay, so inside this particular image, Docker is already available. So this command should work. Let me go here. Okay, we'll push is working. Let me open this job. Okay, here you can see it is using a shared runner, not a self-hosted runner. Okay, and the base image that we used is a Docker stable one. So this time we won't get that Docker command not available because we have used base image as a Docker stable, so it should work. If there is any other happen, then we'll try to troubleshoot and rerun the particular job. Okay, yeah. So here we can see the job is succeeded. So it has created the image. Okay, so that is also done. Then it is pushed the image to the container registry. So where we can find it? I just go to container registry. Let me refresh this. Okay, so inside the container registry, inside this repo, you will be able to see the image that has generated. Okay, so what we have given? We have given Dharma app then the CI pipeline ID, right? So that is why it has generated with 50 as the value here. Okay, so if you want to modify this, you can provide some value. Based on that, it will generate the image. Okay. So that's it. I hope you got a clear idea about how it is working, and we have seen like how you can use container images. So in the coming videos, I will show you like how you can deploy these to Kubernetes using this image. Okay, so please stay tuned, and if there is any confusions regarding today's videos or previous videos, please do comment in the comment section. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. Bye.